Good morning from Charlotte, North Carolina. Today's the 24th. Minnesotans make history. Here's what they're teaching us. Minnesota, what are you teaching us? I want to know. That it's okay for illegal aliens to move into the United States. You live here. They don't pay taxes like you do. Let me see this. I'm just curious. Let me see this. And who is this? Let's see what channel this is. Here's a girl that is... This is a girl right here. It's Park Rose Prima Culture. She has 487,000 subscribers. Let me tell you something. You know, when you are fighting for something, I want to know what Minnesota's fighting for. What is Minneapolis fighting for? I'm confused. To get ICE out. To get ICE out. ICE has been to Charlotte. I'm okay. I'm still alive. I wasn't beat up. My door wasn't torn down. You know, we have our goody-goody shoes, like this Park Rose Prima Culture. We have our goody-goody shoes, the ones that have big hearts, that believe that the death of Renee Good, the guy that got blinded in his eye, he can't see. Now, guys, you know I don't like early morning vlogs. It is 10 after 8. But I've got to make this vlog again. I'm confused about what they're fighting for. So, in other words, the way I understand it, Minnesota, you're fighting for the right of aliens to live in your town, your cities, never paying taxes, to go to your work and work under the table for your employer to pay them. You know, I'm confused. I don't understand it. I've watched this so much. I have watched it. You know, and I was behind them at first because I'm a movement kind of dude. I'm an old 60s guy. Fight those communists, those evil, terrible people. Sent our boys to war over Vietnam. Let me explain something. We should never have been in Vietnam, and Minnesota's saying that I should never have ever come there. I've said this 1,000 times. If indeed ICE comes to this city, I have no reason to go out and mess with them. I'm not going to get killed. I'm not going to get beat up. I'm not going to get shot. So you have people that, let me explain something. You know, when it comes down to politics, you know, something's going on in Britain. It's a revolution type stuff. I mean, you know, we live in America, the home of the free, the land of the free. Do I like Donald Trump? Not even a tiny bit. I really don't. But he is the president elected. It is, guys, that your goody-goody shoes, your people that, poor Minnesota and those Minneapolis, those poor people standing out in the cold, freezing to death to fight for their right. You know, I see it now. I agree with what the commander had to say. Why are you detaining them from doing their job? If a police force comes in, and the police do what they need to do I don't know, I'm trying to understand this more because I'm confused about what's going on in Minnesota and Minneapolis. I'm confused about why is it you like these aliens? Why do you like them so much? You know, I've sat and thought it out many times. You know, an employer can get these illegal aliens and pay them under the table. They never will pay taxes in the United States like we do. And I don't understand it. I want to know, what are they teaching us? Teaching us what? That we have a right to stand and protest against opposition. We have the right to protest against total control from Trump. We have the right to, you see, and like I said, we are the type of people that we fight. That's what we do. We're Americans. You know, but it is as Make America Great Again. It's always been great and always will be great. You know, I jumped on this bandwagon like Park Rose Prima Culture did. I jumped on this bandwagon. I was like, yeah, Minnesota, you, Jonathan Ross, you need to serve time in prison for murder. You murdered her. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I go into a bar. I'm a tiny dude. Now, I've taken boxing and I've done some karate and stuff like that, but I'm a tiny dude. I go into a bar and I see something not right. You know, I don't know. I just see something. And so I want to get involved in that because what that person's doing or whatever, what they're doing, I don't like. And I see harm. So I go over there and I start to protest this guy. This guy is going to get pissed. He's going to try and go, who the hell do you think you are? You're coming up here talking to me. I wasn't bothering you. So that's my point, guys. You are fighting a senseless fight. What are you fighting for? Renee Good would still be alive today. She would be having a good time with her children and her wife. You know, guys, you got to wake up. You got to understand that you can talk about what's going on in Minnesota till the cows come home. But what I'm saying is that ICE is in there to do a job, and they're going to do that job. They have arrested an incredible amount of illegal aliens living in Minnesota and Minneapolis. And it is, guys, if you're going to hide them and protect them, I want to ask you why. I'd like to ask you why you're doing that. So that's my 2 cents when it comes to what's going on in Minnesota. Peace.